It's the road trip from hell. Come September, few survive. Surround the Subiaco Arena with 40,000 of the West's most parochial and vocal supporters. Add the fire of the Mick Malthouse-inspired West Coast Eagles, and you begin to understand the mission. In 4 finals in the 90s, only one team has come out unscathed. And in 1991, Hawthorn went on and won the flag. Today it is the turn of David Parkin's Carlton, the reigning premiers facing their sternest test. Back to form at Geelong last week after an erratic season. They have met twice this season. At Optus Oval, an umpiring error gave the Blues the narrowest of wins. At Subiaco 3 weeks ago, there was no such question mark. The Eagles were on fire. Today, the Blues have returned across the Nullarbor, ready for this, the first qualifying final of 1996. 7 Sport welcomes you to Perth for the clash between the West Coast and Carlton on AFL Saturday.
Yes, around Australia, welcome along to Subiaco Oval for the first qualifying final. The West Coast Eagles and Carlton, the 1994 premiers up against the premiers of 1995. Now, it's the first time these two sides have met in a final. But, of course, the final series started last night at the Gabba. Brisbane home by a point. What a thrilling game it was, an absolute classic. Gavin Wanganeen hit the post with 15 seconds to go. Adrian Fletcher quite outstanding in the midfield. And now the Bombers at home today, just waiting.
The AFL Centenary Season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, the Australian airline, Foster's Lager, Mobil, Nike, Coca-Cola and McDonald's.
And Gerard Healy joins me now. And Gerard, obviously a big day for these rookies, for the Eagles.
It is, but it's amazing how history shows that young players do have great games in finals. Robert Di Domenico was a 17-year-old, one of the best on the ground, along with Peter Russo in a final some 10 years ago. So I wouldn't be too deterred if I was Mick Malthouse, backing in the young players that have served him so well since round 5, as you suggested. One late change for the West Coast Eagles. Yes, Jason Heatley has lost his spot to David Hart, the experienced back pocket player, but he's one of 3 changes as Guy McKenna leads the Eagles back out onto the ground. And what a hometown roar. There's David Hart, the late inclusion. So Hart, Donnelly, goal kicker, and Kemp, the marvellous midfielder. Peter Matera also there, a champion. Those 3 players back into the side at the expense of Lewis, Lyle and Weapunda. But having a look at the Eagles' side, it's an unlikely key player, I think, in Peter Sumich, who's played just 5 games this season but kicked 20 goals. And if he can maintain that average of 4, which will be tough to do against Steve Silvani, the best fullback of the century, then the Eagles will be a tough mob to beat here today. But I think also the responsibility comes down to the likes of White and Matera, both going into this game under a bit of an injury cloud. We'll know more in 2 hours' time.
Well, if we talk about Carlton, I suppose the big body blow for them during the week, Michael Sexton going out, did so well against Mitchell White back in round 20, held him to 12 possessions.
Yes, it was a brilliant performance by Sexton last week against Geelong, and he will be a big loss. He's one of 2 changes for Carlton. Sexton and Rice both going out, both premiership players last year. But coming in with 2 premiership players, Earl Spalding, whose last game was in round 20 against the West Coast, and of course Whitehead, who had his first game back in the seconds last week after missing 4. So a couple of players back into the Carlton side under a bit of an injury cloud, but the key to the Carlton side will be the middle. They were beaten here in round 20. The likes of Brown, who didn't play that day and was in good form last week, Ratton and Bradley probably hold the key to the Carlton fortunes.
So we're set to go. West Coast and Carlton will be back very shortly.
Turnbull, and away they go. Turnbull slaps it out wide. Matera, nicely done. Slung. Spills wide. Camporelli, 75 metres out. Kernahan on the lead. McIntosh in the nick of time. Socket away by Hart towards the outer side effectively. Strongly. Out of bounds. It'll be thrown in.
Well, from that bounce, it did appear as if Matera will be lining up on Camporelli as we see the Eagles bench there. But interesting, that one from McIntosh was a line ball decision as to whether it was over the shoulder.
Heady, Lovell and Schofield on the bench for the Eagles. Throw in, Big Harry goes up, gets a hand to it, comes down to Banfield. He's kicked back towards centre wing, close to the boundary line, and bounces out. So we'll have another throw-in. Well, there was a bit going on at the centre square. Spalding ran in pretty hard, but didn't make contact with anybody. And I'm sure that some of these Eagles will remember Earl Spalding late last year when he cleaned up Guy McKenna. And Spalding is an inclusion today, and they probably want him to do something similar. Here's Manton up towards half-forward. It clears a couple of players. McKenna sweeping, takes it to the boundary line, and a throw-in.
Morrison on the half-forward line for the Eagles, being picked up by Christou.
Eagles favourites, as you can see. Boundary throw-in about 60 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. Matt props. Turnbull got in front. Gains about 12 metres. It is a sellout. Packed house now. Carlton do have plenty of support here in Western Australia. Well, take my word for it. There's the throw-in. Madden and Turnbull again. Madden this time. Geary, a hand pass. Gained about 10 metres. Murphy picks it up. Slips it back. Brown's got it. Hard against the line. Pulls it back towards the 50. Madden lumbers after it. Camporelli knocks it in front across the 50. Hannah taps it wider. Camporelli back into the fray then. Brilliant smother by Matera. Hannah, Camporelli, 75 metres out long. Kernahan not favoured by the kick though. It slides away and bounces through for a behind.
And while we pause, we'll just have a look at the forward line for the Eagles. You've got Kemp being picked up by McKay. Sumic with Silvani as expected. Andrew Donnelly being picked up by Dean. De Ulio's got the dangerous cousin. And White is being picked up by Glenn Manton.
Banfield's kicked towards centre wing, and the ball once again has gone out. So we've started the game with lots of throw-ins as they sort themselves out, puff their cheeks, and get the original nerves out of them to settle down to play the game. And David Parkin got the furrows in the brow already. Madden beats Turnbull, comes down to the front. No decisive football in the game yet. Little toe poke there. Koutafides was in with a hand pass. Brown to McKay. Just gets rid of it. Cooter again. He's caught in Cousins' tackle. Ratton bounces one wide to Brown. Oh, great tackle, Banfield. Magnificent tackling. It's just inside the white line. It'll be a ball up rather than a throw-in, and no free kick. That's how we'd like to see finals footy played.
At the other end of the ground, Downsborough's got Spalding at half forward. McKenna's got Hickmott. As we have a look at this on replay, in comes Banfield. Great tackle. Metropolis has picked up Justin Murphy, who got 5 goals last week. McIntosh on Kernahan, and Hart, late inclusion, has picked up Brent Heaver, dangerous goal kicker for the Blues last week.
It's out of bounds now. Good shot from behind the goals there. Looking down the ground. Madden and Turnbull fell in front of them. Banfield, busy start. Bradley hurriedly onto the boot. It bounces back towards midfield. Hannah, third man in the queue, comes away with it. Long kick. Kernahan again pushed in the back. Surely McIntosh takes the mark. Umpire Mitchell had a perfect angle on that one. Elected not to pay the free. Hart back to the opposite pocket. Downsborough on short. Metropolis. He's at half back and he's away. Kicking down towards the half forward line. Donnelly. Dean over the top, loose ball behind Morrison. Christou slipped over Morrison from 55. Silvani goes back. He takes the mark right on the behind line.
Well, we did see Daniel Metropolis running clear there, but that was because Justin Murphy did tremendous work backing up Milhana, covering his man. It was unfortunate his opponent ended up with a football.
Silvani back towards half back. Madden got hands to it, couldn't hang on, kept down in front. Matera hard against the line. Towards the pocket, this can run on. Awkward situation for Silvani. Sumic, I think, missed it. It comes back to him. He flicks it towards the square. Ratton the tackle, but not in time. Evans the goal.
Exciting start and a goal from a scrap by Evans, close to the goal line. Madden's kick out of the centre. Metropolis takes the mark in defence for the Eagles. Lead by Donnelly at half forward. The kick in that direction. Oh, Turnbull with one hand. Sensational mark by Ryan Turnbull. Just forward of centre wing. The kick to centre half forward. Morrison caught underneath it. Sumic went past him. Silvani, the hand pass away. Camporelli in defence. Oh, knocked down by Morrison. Here's Big Harry, soccering defensively. There's Ratton underneath there. And that ball's going nowhere. The umpire will come in and ball it up by making a clear signal that the ball was held in. Darren Goldsby. Near the logo on centre wing, just forward of the wing, the Eagles' way. They've got a goal, and Carlton have a behind.
Madden and Turnbull, body to body. Madden, Banfield, smothered off the boot by Brown. Evans quickly away. This is Kemp, 75 metres out. Down towards full forward. Sumich works in front. Fisted away by Matten. Mainwaring, open goal, gets by one, not the second, lost it. Silvani heads for the boundary line. Hannah, support. This is Dean, up from the back pocket, uses it nicely. Ratton to Ulio, back to Ratton. Murphy controlled it brilliantly. To Ulio. They come out running. To Ulio down towards half forward. Heaver, awkward half volley, couldn't control it. On a collision course with Deering. Then there was Koutafides. Picked up by Spalding. Good hand pass. Releases Bradley. Coming up hard to meet him was McKenna. That was good enough. Banfield the crumbs. Hugs the boundary. Kemp close to the line. Plays on. Kicks down towards half forward. In front Donnelly. White behind. Could have almost been holding the ball. Down goes Mainwaring. Strong tackle by Brown. Brought him down. And initially a very good tackle applied by Manton. Now a free kick to Mainwaring.
Well, as we've expected, a pretty fiery opening by both sides. Chris Mainwaring missed the shot at goal only seconds ago because he just ran that little bit far, but good opening by both teams.
Kick by Mainwaring inside the 50. Diulio there under pressure from Kemp. Well played by Kemp. Running out of room, Cousins. Brilliantly played by the youngster. Play on. The snap for goal. Sensational.
Eagles by 11 points then. Madden decisively. Ratton at close quarters, lost it. Matera kicks towards half forward. Donnelly trapped it brilliantly to White. High up and under. Going back is Cousins, surrounded, got fingertips to it. Sumich to Morrison. Open goal. Morrison gets the third for the Eagles. Fast start.
Well, 2 goals in 2 minutes to first-year players. Both outstanding chances for the Norwich Rising Star, which will be awarded on Tuesday. As we have a look from behind the goal, the development of this one. Morrison's had a good start to the game. He's been involved early in the piece. Quick hands there from Sumich set him up, and he was so keen to get there. He tripped himself over, but still put it through the middle. The Eagles off to a fly.
Chad Morrison, a youngster, drafted from Victoria as a compensatory selection by the Eagles. Comes down in the middle of Waterman. Out in front of Matera. The Eagles running amok here in the early stages when it counts. Kick by Matera. Long. Sumich gets back on Silvani. No whistle on the play. At the front, Diulio. Giving it up to Matera. Awkward one. Keeps it in, Peter Matera. Well, just got over the line. And he was off like a rabbit.
It was only inches over the line. But once again, we see the Eagles getting the ball out of the centre. So the heat is on the Carlton defence. They've got to turn that round, the Blues, if they're going to get back into this game. Already it appears, Dennis, as if the Eagles just that shade faster in each position.
Plenty around this for the boundary throw-in. Madden tries to juggle it. Ratton. Hurried left footer. Cross the ground. Hannah needs to be good here. Under pressure from Mainwaring. What a contest this is. Well played by Chris Mainwaring. He came from a losing position to win the footy. Evans gets one in the back. No whistle. Mainwaring again. The hand pass for himself. Out of bounds will do him. He did very well there, Chris Mainwaring. All-Australian for the second time. And showed his class there.
And it's a great facet of our game when you see 2 fellows, both champion wingmen, going toe-to-toe without much support.
Inside the 50 for the Eagles. Out of bounds from the hand of Ronda Ulio. Thrown in. Ben Cousins played advantage and kicked that goal on his left foot. So the umpire knew exactly what he was doing. Thrown in. Madden twice, 3 times. Brown was there as well. Ratton couldn't control it. Evans plucked it. Run down from behind. Is that holding the ball? Held to him, says the umpire. And a bounce about 35 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. got the initial burst here. They lead by 17 points. Just under 12 minutes till quarter time. Overcast day, terrific day for football. Madden behind. A lot of Blues in the vicinity. Brown comes away towards the wing. Koutafidis left it behind. Gearing Sockers off the ground. Mainwaring couldn't pick it up. Brown did well. Rumbers it up towards the wing. Spalding lacks support. That's not a bad result. Takes it across the line. So a throw in on the wing.
Earl Spalding, one of the veterans, playing his 22nd final. He got his early finals with Melbourne. Mick Malthouse looks on. He'd be pleased with the start by the Eagles. 3 goals to a point. Madden a fist. Comes down to Banfield now. Evans. Hannah smothered. Evans right in the thick of things. Tony Evans. He got a clip round the ear and a lot of buffeting when he kicked his goal. And he'll know he's played a game of football today if this keeps up.
I don't think he's ever played a bad final, has he?
He just really steps up, doesn't he?
Started well.
Clean possession, Madden. A high ball short of the 50. Spalding. Ooh, nearly free kick rather than the mark. Earl Spalding 65 metres out. On his own is Murphy. The Blues looking for their first goal. Run down by Matera, who came from 30 metres away. Sensational play by Matera, and he wins the free kick.
Playing in his first final, Justin Murphy will realise he won't have as much time as the regulation home and away games.
A bit stiff, depending on who was chasing him. McKenna, Banfield at half-back. He thought no chance, Matera, but he got there. His closing speed is superb. Donnelly, low down, great catch. Plays on immediately. Waterman short. White can run onto this ball, go inside the 50 and sort out his options. Decides to go for home. Sharp angle, misses to the near side. Well done by Manton. Got across there and made a contest as the ball was going down to the boot.
Just examining the midfield matchups, Chris Waterman unexpectedly picking up Fraser Brown, who's picked up 4 possessions early in the piece. Tony Evans, an experienced player, is picking up Brett Ratton, and Drew Banfield doing a pretty good job on Craig Bradley at present.
Look at the distance on that kick. The Blues actually with a slight breeze in the first quarter, although McKenna won the toss for the Eagles. Matera's kick, any amount of Eagles. Kemp took the mark. There were 2 others there who could have. And Andrew McKay stands the mark right on 50. Lead by Sumic, covered by Silvani. Kemp a bit worried about the distance. Morrison. And Christou was caught behind by a good step.
Well, Morrison will line up for his second shot at goal. But it's interesting, the psychology of the midfield. You would prefer to go in as the hunter rather than the hunted, but it appears that Mick Malthouse has orchestrated his matchups in the middle the way he would like it, rather than the way that David Parkin would prefer.
Chad Morrison for his second. Gets away to the right. Ooh, just and hits the post.
They can be costly, as we found out last night.
Absolutely. It was going to be decided by a point. We'll have to go right back to the first quarter and think about these.
One way to go yet. Kick in is short to the pocket from Silvani to Julio. Peter Dean indicating he wants it high. Goes in that direction. Dean helps the ball on its way, loose behind, well played. Brown first there, Sockers off the ground, across the line it goes. Fraser Brown busy. He was terrific last week against Geelong. Key man this afternoon. David Parkin working the phone. Captain coach of Subiaco back in '75. Clappe hurriedly onto the boot. Spalding. It's going well enough. 75 metres out from goal. The centering kick. Camporelli ran into Hart. It bounces across to Kernahan. Slipped over. Still he goes. Hurriedly onto the boot. Camporelli. Half chance in the pocket. Pulls it back. He's missed. Again the pressure on the kicker. Both sides working hard.
The Blues 2 behinds, both off the boot of Camporelli. McIntosh with a big job on Kernahan today. To the back pocket, McKenna, acting skipper.
Interesting to examine the benches of both sides. Drew, Allen, Whitehead and Hickmott now, because Clappé's back on the ground, versus Schofield, Heady and Lovell. A lot more run in the West Coast bench.
Juggled mark completed just inside the line by Metropolis. And the kick by Metropolis over centre wing. Donnelly, awkward ball. Might have been off his shins or knee, but they ruled no, it was above that. And it's going to be a throw-in rather than a free kick to the Blues. Carlton men on the bench. Adrian Hickmott, nearest the camera, has played in 2 grand finals for Geelong. Heap around this. Madden tries to get a kick out of the pack. It comes the Eagles' way onto the chest of Donnelly. 60 metres out from goal. And the Blues have got to stop the tide. Kick by Donnelly. Oh, here he is. The wizard Cousins.
Great fan of Peter Dean's, but he's getting the runaround from Andrew Donnelly at the present time. Youngster in his first season, Donnelly. I would imagine Peter's got socks older than Andrew. Waterman comes off.
Schofield goes on for the Eagles. Cousins for his second goal. Look at that. Perfect. Not a bad kid.
Bear in mind, Carlton have got use of the breeze. It's probably worth a couple of goals. Camporelli gets it from Brown, heads for the pocket. Up comes Kernahan, couldn't hang on, waiting in front of Metropolis. Banfield has been superb, met very solidly. Obviously, Brown felt he was having an impact too. Around the outer side, Evans. Evans and Banfield are working overtime. So is Brown. There's Koutafidis. Needs to fire up. The short one is on. Nicely done. Bradley comes away from the wing. Craig Bradley to Kernahan. They're one out inside the 50. Both on the ground. McKenna gets back. Sockers towards the pocket. Hart leads in the race. McKenna, good obstruction there. Got in the path of Heaver. Gehrig run down, but not before he got it to Metropolis. In trouble. Murphy got him from behind. Close to the boundary line. It spills across. Boundary throw-in. Whitehead's on the ground now for Carlton.
Yes, he'll go on to Ben Cousins as D'Urlio comes off the ground. Interesting. I thought consistency would have seen that free kick played against the West Coast Eagles.
From the knock, Murphy uses good body work on McKenna, who's hurt. Guy McKenna's hurt. Brown and Banfield having a bit of a war. And Guy McKenna not looking too good, might have taken that on the shoulder. And there's Fraser Brown getting into Banfield, and Banfield came back and had a dip at him. The knock goes close to the 50, back out of bounds. And he is looking very poorly at the moment. Mark 17-5. Carlton have been blitzed in the opening 20 minutes of this game, and it's 4 goals to nothing. Madden, give him that one. Brown gets it going Carlton's way. Ratton, a centering kick. Well, he tried to centre it, but he found the crowd.
Brown playing a lone hand here at the present time for Carlton in the middle of the ground. It was a miraculous handball to get it out to Ratton as we see Guy McKenna going down. Have a look at it, eyes on the football. And Justin Murphy, well, didn't look a lot in it, and he just collected him in the midriff.
McIntosh out of defence. McKenna. Schofield on the burst. Out of defence also. Comes up towards half-back and kicks to the wing. Hart, awkward for him. Was checked off the ball by Heaver. Fair enough decision. The veteran. David Hart. Wanted to retire prior to last season. Kicking towards half-forward. Donnelly again slipping away. Almost the mark. Well done by Dean. Ratton thought about it. Eventually tried to. The soccer not particularly effective. They turn it over in midfield. Metropolis runs away from the ball and Madden. Bacon goal square. Runs on goal.
Well, look at this scoreline. Problems for Carlton. 5-2 to 2 behind. Got a basketball in the middle. Now a jump ball. Guy McKenna has come off the ground. He's holding his right arm to his side a bit gingerly, going up the race for treatment. Solid knock from Justin Murphy. Ball up back in the centre circle. likely to give it to Madden. Camporelli. They badly need a goal, the Blues. Kick by Camporelli. Wide open forward line. Kernahan, the only Carlton man inside 50. He's got it. He's got support from Hannah, but couldn't get it to him. And the ball held in, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, it's simply not working for them up in the forward line, Carlton. They've had the ball in their forward 50 half a dozen times, but it's been a one-out battle between McIntosh and Kernahan, of which McIntosh has won almost every one.
There's the bounce. Improvisation there from Justin. And passing towards the boundary is Hart. Yes, you need a crummer, you would think, with Kernahan. They're going back to what happened in the first half last time around. Two sides to that story. Got 5 goals before half-time, but didn't take a mark or have a kick or a hand pass after half-time.
They almost need another option in behind Kernahan to confuse the Eagles.
Well, watch this. He'll probably take a mark now. Wrestling again with McIntosh. You've got a fist on it. He's getting a free.
When in doubt, go for the umpire.
Well, generally, the umpire goes for the defender.
And Brett Heady coming back onto the ground. No. That decision has been reversed as we have a look at this decision, and there certainly was a hand around the neck of Kernahan. He pleaded, and ask and you shall receive.
McIntosh had 14 hand passes in round 20, indicating he was able to run off Kernahan. Running off at the present time as Kernahan kicks a goal.
Well, the free kicks are 4-2 in favour of the Eagles, but half of Carlton's free kicks, that one, right in front. Goal to Kernahan. They're on the board. Madden wins in the middle. Heaver overruns the ball, but it's going their way. Ratton applies the tackle. Ball held in. Umpire will ball it up. Bit of a fight going on just off the ball. Bottom left-hand corner of screen, just out of shot.
A bit unfortunate, that one for Carlton. Harry gave Brent Heaver a bit of an armchair ride. Should have been a straight exit out of the middle.
Bounced by umpire Goldsby. No restrictions, plenty of players. Madden's getting his hands to most of these, but Carlton aren't winning the crumbs. Matera. Dean got a glove to it. Back he goes. Clappe. Ratton. Straight up the centre. Kicked by Ratton to centre half forward. Spalding. Couldn't quite reach it. Kernahan was there. Deflects the ball to his opponent, and McIntosh has it. Out of defence, Metropolis, and now Mark the Waterman.
Matten's gone on to Andrew Donnelly. Dean has moved over onto White.
Intended for Evans. Great mark by Hannah. Wonderful courage coming back with the flight of the ball. Mill Hannah right on the wing. Sends it in again. Kutafides the target this time. Juggles the mark. Right on the 50. Now, this westerly breeze is freshening. He should get the distance from here. 55 out. No trouble at all. Will it bend back? Not quite. Well, there's bad news and bad news there for Carlton fans. He missed, and the ball's gone into the crowd, so it's gone about 65 on the wing.
Well, Carlton are going to need some inspiration from somewhere, and it's marks like that one from Mill Hannah that may lift them round the ground.
And the one by Kuta, but he couldn't cap it off with a goal. Main Waring in the back pocket. Floats one to Hart. Late inclusion, David Hart. Kick up short of the wing. Madden juggles it. Good mark. Well, he's going great guns, Harry, in his 331st game. And earlier in the season, we thought he'd passed it. The kick inside the 50. Kernahan hands to it. And again, over the top, a blind one. Knocked out by Metropolis to Main Waring. Keeps it in only for Kutafides. Did he take it over? The boundary umpire had a good look at it. And now eventually out for a throw-in. Guy McKenna went straight up to the room for some treatment. And they weren't happy with the camera seeing Guy McKenna sit down. Boundary throw-in, 50 metres out. Carlton desperate for their second goal. Kuta! High ball over his shoulder. Kernahan caught behind. Down he goes. Spalding. Carlton aren't there in numbers. Haven't got the back up at ground level. Outside the 50 to Murphy. Back to Kernahan. Kick smothered. Play on. Banfield. Oh, the Eagles are looking sharp.
Yerrick towards the wing. It bounces very high. Well played by Dean. Quickly away. This is Bradley. He's forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Kutafides with the run. Up he goes. Loose ball off hand. Schofield Some time and space. Mainwaring in the pocket. He's still got the numbers to this side of the ground. Mainwaring, though, untidy looking kick. A bit lucky. Just inside the boundary. Michael Malthouse down now from the coach's box. Let's go down to Dwayne Lamb. What's the news on Guy McKenna?
Yes, Bluey took a heavy knock to the hip, so he's had it padded up and he's right to get back on.
Our cameraman okay, is he? There's the ultimate trial by video. Up the cameraman. Throw in just outside the 50. 5-2-1-3. The Eagles in front. They'll use the breeze in the second term. Heaver tried to go through, couldn't. Evans has been superb. Mainwaring off his step towards the wing. Donnelly leads up in the race again. Spins out of trouble. Metropolis through the centre square. Kicks down towards the 50. Cousins stays off. White juggles the mark. Play on the call. Cousins left standing. Here's trouble for the Blues. 35 metres out. Gets his third.
Well, the kid's a champ. He's only 18. But, boy, has he stepped up to the big league.
Yes, hasn't found the pace at all problem throughout the season. He's just so exciting too, and a great finisher. Brilliant kick, either from a stationary position or, as we saw on that occasion, on the run. But he always finds himself some space. He's had two opponents already today, and he just continues to get better. And Mitchell White, perhaps he's going to give Peter Dean some problems also.
Back in the middle, Turnbull dumps it 20 metres out of the centre square. Dean a juggle, goes to McKay. The old firm looking a bit shaky. Bradley, long kick by Bradley, half back to half forward. Spalding, and a chance to mark Clappe. Diulio, now on the forward line, dodging. Gee, Metropolis has been good in defence. Been an excellent player. 4 marks and 8 possessions to Metropolis. And the ball out of play.
Talking stats, Banfield 10 so far, 8 and 2, and you know they're never easy. It's playing on Craig Bradley. Thrown in, Bradley with 4 possessions. Right on the 50, Camporelli dragged out of it. Brown, nicely done. 5 possessions now. High one, Kernahan came to the ball, almost the mark. Schofield tidies up. Hart out of defence. The pitch about 15 metres in front of Cousins and Whitehead. Whitehead did best, aided by the bounce. Brown to McKay. Tumbles one towards full forward. We've seen this a few times today. The big men down there competing for the mark that time. A new twosome. Turnbull and Madden. Behind is forced on the siren. Michael Malthouse would be delighted. The crowd certainly are. Working into a breeze, the West Coast Eagles, powered by that young man, lead 6-2 to 1-4.
That's what I like about everything about the thing about football.
They lead by 28 points already. Madden's done well on the ball. Allen hasn't had a run yet. Brown, a little kick across the ground. He leads the race. His eyes off it for a fraction of a second and gets a free kick for a high tackle.
Pretty happy with that one, I think, Fraser.
Awarded by Chris Mitchell. Kick by Brown to the 50. Clappe waits. Gets it to the back. Kernahan a long way up the ground now. And that's just not coming clear. Trying to punch the ball on, and they're making a forest of legs, the Eagles, and just blocking them up. Well, Cousins kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. I saw him kick 5 1/4 against St Kilda over here earlier in the year. But gee, to do it in your first final, 3 goals in the opening quarter, magnificent. 3 kicks, 3 goals. Madden again. Koutafidis, but pressure for Brown. Ball knocked away beautifully by Waterman to Matera. Left footer up towards centre wing. Manton. And look at Cousins. What a player.
Definitely a crowd favourite.
He's a favourite of mine.
He used to do against Geelong. Some irony there back in round 5. His dad played for Geelong. His dad a very good player too, particularly in the WAFL. Madden down in front. Evans across the line, and I suppose when Geelong watch him play, every time they watch him play, it would hurt. Could have gone there. It's the Carlton bench. Thrown in. Right on the wing then. Madden in front again. Well played by Koutafidis. Characteristic fashion. Counts it away on the one hand. Beautiful finish to McKenna. Timely fist. Clappe. Tackle from behind by Mainwaring. Flicks it back. Hannah in trouble. Mainwaring going from one man to the next. Spalding wider to Ulio just outside the 50. Looking for Kernahan. In close attendance McIntosh. And McIntosh again wins their little battle. Angled punch away towards the boundary. Good defence.
Light rain, Dennis, so the Eagles' lead is looking sensational at 28 points with the breeze and with rain.
Yep, Turnbull in front, knocks it down. Madden lost it. McKenna, Metropolis has been good. Evans in trouble, dragged down. Camporelli got him. In goes Hart, and the body's in willingly. Bounce.
Well, interesting decision by Guy McKenna to run into the breeze in the first quarter, but everything's worked out perfectly for the Eagles. Schofield, Heady, and Lovell on the bench for the Eagles. Camporelli, a little hand pass to Brown, good distance. Kernahan, 2 metres out. And this will be the start the Blues need for this quarter. Bit of protection from the three-tiered grandstand at that end of the ground. So Brown was off balance and spun but got distance. Kernahan gets his second.
They've just got to keep getting the ball out of the middle, Carlton, and bring back this deficit.
Margin 22 points. Kernahan's got 2 goals. Doesn't have a good record against the Eagles on this ground. From memory, 12 goals in 7 games, and 5 of them in the first half last time around. Bradley out towards half forward. Well played. McKenna crumbing superbly. Downsbury got the initial fist. Donnelly knocked away by Matt and taken by Koutafidis. He seems to have the appetite. Kicking back towards half forward. Coming up is Kernahan. Shields the ball. Runs back onto it. Heaver. Plenty of company. Banfield got him. Awkward one for Clappe. Banfield has been very good. Hurriedly onto the boot. Well played by Gehrig to his own advantage. Beat Koutafidis one out that time. Donnelly. Good mark on the wing. Donnelly wants to go across the ground. White comes on the lead. Awkward one for him. Dean behind. The rain getting heavier. Dean towards the outer side. Mainwaring goes back. It pitches and goes out of bounds. So a throw in on the outer side.
Pretty smart kick from Peter Dean there, kicking into the wind and the flood at the stages of belts down with rain. No option for him. He went to the safety of the boundary line.
Yes, this rain very heavy now. Madden continues to do the business in the ruck. Tackle by Koutafidis. He's had a good few minutes in this second quarter, and the ball out of play for another throw-in. Jared Schofield about to come on for his first run. Mick Malthouse hasn't used his bench at all. McKenna replaced for a short time late in the first quarter with his injury, but he's back now, so there was the one use of the bench. The 3 originals back there. Koutafidis centres. Oh, good mark, Spalding. With a wet, slimy ball. He used to cringe in horror watching Earl Spalding with direct shots from 50 metres out. Could go anywhere. See how he's going these days. That's a good kick by Spalding. One of his best. Well, the Blues have kicked the first 2 into the breeze in this second quarter, and their fans over here finding some voice. They're 16 points behind. Bradley having a tough time down here with Banfield, and actually Banfield wins the hit out. To White, to Kemp. Kick by Kemp. Too long for Sumic at full forward. It skims on the wet grass. Here's the danger man, Cousins. Ball out of play, throw in. Carlton players want him dropping the ball there, but nothing doing. 3 kicks in the first quarter for 3 great goals. 6-2 to 3-4. Carlton have come back in the early stages of this second quarter. Ange Christou, whistle, and it's an Eagles free kick about 15 metres from goal. Against Madden. And you can see umpire Greg Scroop having a word with Madden. And Donnelly should have little trouble with this. Gee whiz. Well, over the shoulder to Donnelly, sure, but didn't get much of him, did he, Jared?
I think Andrew Donnelly would be very happy with the decision.
Goal to the Eagles.
Well, it was a cheap one, but once again, it was certainly there. And I guess Ashley McIntosh should say, well, that's exactly what happened in the first term, but it didn't really impact on Donnelly. But Matt, well, the kick was given away. As Brent Heaver comes off the ground, let's have another look at it. It's just a little bit of a flick, a very soft decision, particularly in a final 5 metres out from goal. Justin Murphy's come back onto the ground, so first goal of the Eagles in this term. But Carlton have just stepped up the pressure somewhat in the middle of the ground, and they're getting their fair share.
The Eagles double the Blues score, leading by 22 points. Comes down to Camporelli, who's given it up. Schofield straight into the fray. Socket forward, Matera looking dangerous. Outside the centre square, long bomb! Just offline, and through 4 behind. Peter Matera, 8 kicks. 23-point margin. This is from behind the goals, and Camporelli gets cleaned up here in the middle.
Justin Murphy's been picked up by Guy McKenna, and it's important that Carlton can isolate Justin Murphy, because McKenna will leave his opponent to back up through the Eagles' defence. He's done it for years, so they must pinpoint Murphy to drag McKenna away from the action.
White paid a free kick on the outer side. Inside the 50, Manton gets across, couldn't control it. Kemp, greasy ball, lost it. Down goes Dean, and in turn Manton. Eventually Mainwaring gets through on the left foot. Bounces out of bounds in the pocket. Just over 14 minutes to half-time. Blues in trouble, down by 23 points. They've got to hold the line in this quarter. Madden flicks it behind. Morrison going nowhere. Manton in trouble. Sumich. Socket off the ground by Silvani. Out of bounds just inside the 50. There's Christou. Silvani. Steve going for the short sleeve or sleeveless sweater today. Madden over the top. Crashing in there, Morrison. Madden played it pretty well. Stood his ground. Timely bump, got Banfield down. Down goes Matera. Brown after the ball, but the boundary line too close.
He's won a stay of execution, Harry, because normally he'd come off after about 20 minutes, but he's rucked beautifully. And David Parkins left him on. Heady preparing to come back on, or come on. Madden another ruck knockout. Camporelli up towards centre wing. McKenna, injured and all, covers the ball and sees it going nowhere.
Chad Morrison is being replaced by Brett Heady, so he'll be happy with his first AFL final.
And Morrison didn't do a bad job. Kicked a goal. Socket off the ground by Ratton. Good hands by Milhana, then lost it to White, the All-Australian. Kicked by White, plenty of height, no distance. Christou. Oh, Kemp. Prepared to concede nearly 25 metres to White. Heady just on. Fresh as a daisy. Oh, Mainwaring dropping in short, 45 metres out. And now Madden's coming off the ground. 12 minutes into the second quarter, Allen comes on. So he's rucked a long time, Madden. Done it beautifully. Kicked by Mainwaring. Heady double past. And the Blues just not picking up. And Andrew McKay looking embarrassed here as he stands the mark.
They've found it too easy to isolate one man, and they're pinpointing them very well at this stage, the Eagles. The creativity of their 4-5 mobile forwards is quite exceptional. You take Peter Sumich out of the picture, he's just basically a goal kicker. You look at the likes of a Morrison who's just come off, Cousins, Donnelly and Kemp, all very, very creative players, and Brett Heady isn't embarrassed in that company.
Heady from only 20 metres out gets the goal.
surprising. He's been on for a couple of minutes and he's got himself on the scoreboard.
Eagles on top by 29 points. Just over 12 minutes till half-time. Allen now in place of Madden. Been on the back on the way down. Bradley tumbles it down towards half-forward. Ulio in front, battling down there. Still he goes to Ulio. Weight of numbers tell against him, though. Well done. Evans got it from Banfield to Hart. Swings it very wide. Ratton, though, read it best. Got across. Koutafidis now towards half-forward. Pulls it back towards centre half-forward. Brown, well done by Koutafidis. Spotted him. And Brown, only about 35 metres out, directly in front. So an important kick here, Fraser Brown. His 13th possession coming up right here. Been trying very hard. Helps the cause with a goal. Good kick.
Well, there's no doubt there's some positive signs for Carlton, but what they have been able to achieve in the forward line, they've lost out just in a few minutes with the Eagles replying with a couple of goals, but they have now kicked 3 goals in this term. Koutafidis is coming into the game. Fraser Brown continues to be Carlton's best player. I think Craig Bradley's also worked his way into the game, but they really do need another lift right around the ground. But it is their defence that has been shown up at this stage by the Eagles.
Now it's Allen against Turnbull. And Allen wins, but straight to the opposition. It's been going on for a long time. Banfield's kick. Drops short of Cousins. Whitehead his opponent. The hand pass to Gehrig. Slips away. Can't control the ball. Bounces out of bounds. And the Carlton players, Christou wanting an out of bounds on the full. He doesn't get it.
Gehrig's now being picked up by Christou. Milhana coming off the ground.
Hickmott on for his first run.
This leaves Mitchell White now picking up Koutafidis.
The rain didn't last long. Fine conditions once again. Brown, 14 possessions, short of centre wing. Chance for the Blues here. Koutafidis. Long kick to centre half forward. Kernahan. Oh, McKenna, sensational, superb reading of the play. Across half back he goes. And the disposal, perfect for Mainwaring.
That's the point I was making about McKenna. They've got to start kicking it to Justin Murphy. He's got to take McKenna out of the play.
Metropolis almost run down. Schofield back to Metropolis. Through midfield, kicks inside the 50. Simic on the lead. Well done. Silvani got a fist in there. Ratton going in solidly. Kemp came to meet him. It spills back to Simic. 60 metres out on the breeze. Not impossible. It's floating down towards full forward. Cousins goes back. Couldn't reach it. Behind. Interesting the use of Bradley too. He's staying well away from congested situations. Dragging Banfield with him. Perhaps they're prepared to settle on Brown in. And Bradley running wide. Here's Dean running behind Ratton. Yep, that's what they want. Bradley running to that. Probing kick down towards half forward. Kernahan knocked away by McIntosh. Spalding, well played to Clappe. Stopped it. Got 3-on-2. Spalding to Kernahan from 50. Nobody at home. Just across the face. Didn't miss by much. You're behind.
Oh, it was a great build-up by Carl coming from the Craig Bradley kick. Once again, though, McIntosh just seems to have the pace and the strength to go head-to-head with Kernahan. They almost created a goal, but the kick just went a little wide.
Carlton 3 goals to 2 in this second quarter. The kick in, a bit of danger. And the ball out of bounds for a throw-in. Ronnie Giulio coming off. Milhana spent just a couple of minutes on the bench that time. Half forward flank to throw in for Carlton. Allen works his way to a winning position. Can't find a teammate. Schofield grabs it. Well, he's got Matera in support saying, "Gosa!" Kicked by Schofield. Ill-directed. Whitehead. Well, it's deliberate. Yes. He's pinged him for it. It's difficult to hide that one. 44,000 pairs of eyes on you.
Chris Waterman coming onto the ground to replace David Hart. He'll go up onto Milhana, who's gone to the forward pocket. Good move, I think, for from the Blues.
Cousins runs around and kicks it behind. Not even close that one. He's got 3 already. Schofield could have kept running and running, as it was he unloaded early, and then Whitehead couldn't do much better. Christou. 8-5-4-5. Straight up the middle again. Allen with the run in from the side. Spiked away by Bradley. Directly though to White. High up and under. Sumich surrounded. Down in front. Kemp. Evans open goal. Too many up.
The Eagles just keep coming up with midfield goal kickers.
Eagles 3-3 to 3-1 in this quarter. So we might look back and say the first quarter was the winner when they led by 28 points. Long way back for the Blues from here. Hickmott can't control it. Koutafidis is lifted in this second quarter. Loses it. Evans the goal kicker. Out of the middle to half forward. Christou with great courage. Dived in front of a moving tram there. Donnelly came up hurt after the clash with Christou. Long kick to his mate. Koutafidis. Might be 50. Now, doubling pass from defence, Peter Dean. He's 65 metres out. Goes long. Hannah the only chance. Hickmott gets there. Oh, Waterman. Classic.
Good reaction by Michael Malthouse too, because initially when Hannah came back on, he was against Hart. And Waterman has been rushed back into the back pocket. Watch it again. Backed himself to take that mark. Waterman across the ground. Nicely taken by Hickmott out there. Left half forward. From about 75, a probing kick. Spalding hands to it, couldn't hang on. Brown floats it towards Hannah. Oh, good mark. Just checked slightly. Upset Waterman's approach at that one. He's marked about 10 metres out. Awkward angle. You'd expect a check side from here. Milhana. Margin of 5 goals. Bends it back. Nicely done. Goal for the Blues.
Well, I think this is a very good move from Carlton. It does give their full forward line a little bit more potency, because when they look up, it's not just Stephen Kernahan. There's another very talented player in Milhana who, throughout his career, has kicked many goals and has also played a full forward for a quarter or two. So I think that Carlton are going to be a little bit stiffer in the forward line with the addition now of Milhana. Whether they're robbing themselves from the wing is another factor.
Ball up, and Allen wins. Comes to Banfield. The Eagles have sharked Carlton's knockouts. Oh, Ratton gets a beauty out of the middle. Koutafidis. Hannah again. Having a great contest with Waterman. Clappe's there.
Oh, great tackle.
And that was a smother from Metropolis, who's been quieter in the second term than he was in the first, but has been a stout defender. Started on the forward line in his league career. Kicked 4 goals in his first quarter of the AFL. Boundary throw in on the 50. Hard footy to win in there. Evans got it out. Murphy just gave it up pretty quickly, and the ball is out of bounds. We'll have a throw in 30 metres around from the behind post.
Classic example of the highs and lows of AFL football. Justin Murphy last week couldn't do anything wrong with 5 goals. Bit more pressure today, and things just not falling for him at the present time.
Had to kick it that time. Tossed in. Turnbull. Ratton knocks it down. Murphy couldn't control it. Ratton goes again. In trouble. Out of space. And out she goes. Under 7 minutes till half-time now. 9-5-5-5. And if the Blues can get the next goal, well, they will have done well. Next goal, maybe hold the line. Get greedy and take 2. Brown, well, he was almost away. Untidy hand pass. They're working much harder though, Carlton now. Clappo, Spalding. Whitehead's over the ball. In slides Evans. He's worked hard. Banfield controlled it pretty well, then lost it. against the flow. Bradley, Clappe, hand passes back into the congestion. Brown, who was there from the start, to Clappe, 60 metres out. Hannah goes back, with him is Waterman, and Waterman forces her behind. It was well played. But suddenly they look far more potent in attack.
Yes, they've come back well in this second quarter, but it was a big gap to bridge. View from behind. Metropolis the mark in the back pocket. Grey and overcast. We might have finished with the rain for the day. Allen, did he get into the back? Umpire said no. Ratton's there. Now a whistle. Eagles free. Eventually it came. A bit late. Main Waring. Half-back flank for the Eagles. Over centre wing he goes. Gehrig with Christou. Christou the punch from behind and out of bounds. Chance for the crowd to regroup and the players to regroup. 23 points the margin. Justin Madden back on the bench. Parkins come back into it a bit in this second term.
Allen in front, Turnbull over the top. Brown, who's been superb, battles again. Whistle and the bounce. 9-5, 5-6. Just under 5.5 minutes to half-time. Carlton really fighting hard now. Their last 15 minutes has been very good. They could ill afford to concede a late goal. Turnbull beaten by Allen. Schofield has been busy down towards half-forward. Clever mark by Gehrig. Gehrig is about 65 metres out, toying with the idea of squaring the ball, and does. Intended for White, missed by Dean, picked up by Donnelly. How will it bounce down here? Sumich came to meet it, immediately had company, picked up by Hetty. Hetty slung it on the boot. Christou has to go. Almost a courageous mark. Recovers brilliantly. Still has problems. Pursued by Matera. Concedes a behind. Well, both sides will figure they could have done better there. A pretty good result for Carlton, all said and done.
Just under 5 minutes to half-time. The kick to Dean. Open spaces here. Ratton, short pass. Clappe, awkward half volley. Pass by Ratton, not good enough. And the ball out of play on centre wing.
It's actually typified their skill level, though, in this quarter, I think, Carlton. They've won the ball brilliantly. Their work rate's certainly up, but they're just not quite sharp in the skill area, in particular in comparison to the Eagles, who have been outstanding in that area.
Allen, Turnbull from behind. Brown. Ball back out of play. Fraser Brown with 17 possessions with still 4.5 minutes to half-time.
Adrian Hickmott on Chris Main-Waring is an interesting matchup.
Allen once more. Schofield. Underground hand pass to Evans. Short of half-forward. Cousins taken high on the tackle. Another advantage. He'll probably kick a goal. He's left-footed a full forward, straight to the opposition, Silvani.
Intended for Hetty. Christou takes the hand pass. Hickmott on the outer side. Feeds it back. Christou runs on from left half back towards the wing. De Ulio's in front. Koutafides over there. It's Koutafides. Picked up by Kemp. Hugs the boundary line. 2-on-1 here. Manton did very well. Got across and thumped it across the line. And Manton, a very handy pickup this season. Only 9 players in the league have taken more marks. Surprising. Boundary throwing. Turnbull and Allen. Turnbull into the middle. Banfield missed it. Bradley hurriedly onto the boot. It wobbles around the outer side. Koutafides again. Could have been taken high. Crashing through Hickmott. Taken by Brown. Working so hard. Here's Murphy. Down towards the 50. Bounces out of bounds. About 55 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. And they trail by 24 points.
The rain has stopped. I don't think the breeze is quite as strong as it was. Andy Lovell preparing to come on. Ben Cousins goes off. Not as dominant in this second term as he was in the first, but he kicked 3 great goals in the first quarter. Down goes Murphy, McKenna, White, Matera. These two teams have won the last 2 premierships. Matera draws a man. Banfield runs onto it. Left footer by Banfield. Open goal square. But the kick way off target and bounces out of bounds. Andrew Banfield not too happy with his efforts there. 14 disposals for him. Good day's work. Boy from Quirity.
There's the equation. Just over 3 minutes. Tossed in. Allen and Donnelly. Allen thumps it down. Another whistle. Now the umpire goes across to talk to Donnelly, who obviously wanted to umpire there for a moment. Umpire goal's pink. About 20 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. Donnelly and Allen once more. Both head for the boundary. Heady in trouble. Hold to him, says the umpire. Another bounce. Closer to the pocket. Allen once more gets his body in front of Donnelly. Was pushed in the back surely and will get the free kick. So Donnelly won't be amused, one would imagine. Or has he learned his lesson? He's learned his lesson. He stands quietly on the mark as Allen goes back to take the kick. Right towards the wing, tailor-made for Turnbull. Fell awkwardly, but took a very good mark. He's about 60 metres out. Now, normally, he is a prodigious kick. Turnbull will head for home, sends it down towards the kickoff line, hangs a long time in the air. They come from all directions. Geary kept it alive. Interesting hand pass. Heady's got it now. Snaps and kicks a goal. I'd like to see the hand pass again.
Well, we did see the hand pass again, and Geary, for all the world like he threw it. Turnbull flips the ball on. Manton and Heady. Tackled by Manton. Turnbull goes off the ground inside the 50. Donnelly, puts it out in front. Fraser Geary. The Eagles on fire. Geary gets his first goal. The Eagles jump to a 6-goal lead.
Once again, it's that brilliance in the forward line that is creating so many goals for the West Coast Eagles. Smart kick off the ground, but look at the skills of Donnelly. And almost arrogant to be able to just take a tap-down bounce. Such is the great speed of Fraser Geary. And they are looking very, very dangerous. I'm sure every other side in the finals will be a touch worried at this stage.
Doesn't that hurt? Late goals to Heady and then Geary. That's when they seem to have done enough, Carlton. Kemp, Schofield running down towards the 50 to Matera. More problems. He's able to settle. Bacon goal square. He goes for it. McLeay gets back. Timely defensive mark. 11-6 to 5-6. The margin was 28 points at quarter time.
Interesting the way the West Coast are using Sumic once again. It's similar to a couple of other final series where his main role is to lead out to create space at the back.
Dean, big leap. Camporelli waits. Kicks towards the wing. McKenna. Walking down there was Tim Jepp. Hard to get around. Schofield runs to 55. Lines up. Down there in defence, Christou. Donnelly in from the side. Loose ball in front of goal. Dean hits for the boundary line, and that will do.
Well, it'll be the Blues looking forward to taking the breather at half-time. Clock stopping with 37 seconds remaining to the long break. They had done well, but those last couple of goals have been punches. Oh, he's given it straight up. Okay. Lovell's kick across the face of goal. Actually scored. Behind to Andy Lovell. Just into the fray. 11-7 to 5-6. Well, Blues will have to come home with a rush in the second half. Short pass straight up the ground. Camporelli still behind centre half-back. Still behind half-back flank is Whitehead. Now at half-back flank is Ratton. Time ticking down, just 10 seconds remaining in the half. Kick by Ratton. Koutafidis at the top second quarter. Oh, that's a kick and hope, just straight up the air. Tough for the forwards. Turnbull's there. Umpire paid the mark. That is half-time at Subiaco Oval. And the Eagles looking awesome. They won flags in '92 and '94, so if you think they're a chance in the even years, The other clubs will be shaking their boots at the sight of the Eagles here today, leading at half-time by 37 points.
We'll be back with all the second half action after 7 nightly news.
Perhaps the trump card for the Blues.
What they should do with streakers is insist they play. If they come out on the ground, they've got to stay and play for the next hour. 11-7, 5-6 then. Second half of the first qualifying final. Madden and Turnbull. Brown. High kick down towards half forward. Banfield judged it beautifully. It's a very good game.
Brent Hoover back on the ground. Needs to get a couple of goals early.
Drew Banfield plays on. McKenna. McIntosh. Back to Banfield. Well, they needed to be adroit, and they were. Some precise work there. McKenna goes with the left foot. Henry tries to trap it. Bounces across the line, does it? No, relayed free kick to Hetty. Kicks it down towards half forward. Donnelly has been very good on the lead. And again there, 3 times this season, took double-figure tallies of marks. Now Cousins in behind the defence. Bradley got an arm on him. Was it enough? Yes, it was.
The kick wasn't great, but the mark was unbelievably courageous. It did deserve a goal. He elected to play on. Perhaps he would have been better off just sitting back. He's only the best part of 40 metres out. Certainly the distance wouldn't have worried him. And he has shown a liking for playing on under all circumstances this afternoon.
Short kick in by Silvani. I suppose viewers will be hoping for a comeback by the Blues in this second half. And we can think of a preliminary final 3 years ago when Essendon came back from Adelaide. They were 7 goals down at half-time. It was a famous grand final. The Blues were 44 behind Collingwood in 1972. This comeback would need to be up there. Ratton, and they've lost it. Schofield, great poise. White on the turn over his shoulder. Short of half forward. It's thumped to ground. Diulio under the pack. He's got it a long time. He's holding it. Yep, plenty of a chance to get rid of it. Doesn't like the decision. But then they really do. Fraser Gehrig to take the free kick. The Eagles get an early goal. It'll be a killer for the Blues. To the edge of the goal square. It slips through the fingers. There's a push. And the free kick will go to Milhana. Now look at young Ben Cousins here. He didn't kick the goal after taking this mark, but what a mark.
Yes, running with a fly to the ball. Blind. He knew players were coming. Tremendous exhibition.
The kick. White gets a hand to it. Murphy up near centre wing. Camporelli out to Madden. The running ruckman. And the kick missed the target. It was meant for Andy McKay. And it's out of bounds at half forward for the Blues.
Crowd quite content. Throw in. Left half forward. Turnbull and Madden. Manwaring in front though, pursued by Brown. Close to the boundary line. Well done by Fraser Brown. Has conceded nothing today. He's done everything but sell the records here this afternoon. Just hasn't stopped. 19 possessions so far, but lacking in support. Bradley to fire. Madden behind. Matera overran it. Camporelli. Hickmott. Called a throw by umpire Scroop, only 10 metres away. Camporelli not happy. Matera to Schofield. Breaks away, kicks towards the outer side. Hart, beautiful kick. Hart missed the mark though. It runs on and creeps across the boundary line.
Little throw was caught here by the umpire. No more serious than Gehrig's in the second quarter.
I'm not sure it was. Bouncing around there.
Like a tap.
Madden winning in the ruck again. Finds Ratton. The hand pass. Camporelli 75 metres out. Centering kick. Hickmott gets to the back of the pack and marks right in front.
Well, the only question for the umpire there was whether there was any hands on the ball throughout its carriage, but it looked pretty clean on the replay. It would start the Blues off in the right way.
They desperately need this, and they get the goal.
If they can kick 4 or 5 goals and perhaps even wrest back the lead, we'll have another game.
11-8 to 6-6. Bright sunshine now. Madden favoured by the bounce. Over the top Turnbull. Got it going the Eagles' way. This is to Julio. Swings it out wide, intended for McKay. McKay almost the clever mark. Not paid. 2-on-1. Banfield did nicely. Kept it going in the Eagles' direction on the outer side. Then Evans to Matera. Forward of the wing. Spears in the pass low down. And Gehrig has taken the mark close to the boundary line.
Thought it was marked, Jared?
I did, yeah.
32 points the margin. Gehrig, not a particularly good kick. Sumich bounced off his hands. Hannah to Kudafidi, sold into trouble, but somehow got away. Kicks towards midfield. Murphy marks in the hands, plays on immediately. Down towards half forward. Kernahan in front, stayed off the ball. Runs inside the 50. It bounces down towards full forward. Hart leads in the race. Still it's Hart. Heaver beaten off. Hart across the goal face. Finds McKenna. Cool work.
They just read that better than Brent Heaver. Brent Heaver wanted Kernahan to drag the ball back, but the way he was running, there was no way he could get the angle on the ball, and Hart just ran to the square, left his opponent, ended up picking up the easy kick and delivered it very accurately.
Guy McKenna from left half back, kicking down towards the wing. De Julio in from the side. Manton got a fist on it, knocked it in front. Kemp, no space, and across the line.
32 points the margin. The Blues have chipped away with 1 goal to start this third quarter. Madden palms it to foot. Murphy went without it. Schofield a hand pass. McKenna's been superb. Kemp to half forward. Cousins juggles and marks.
It's a great kick also.
Ben Cousins finished the first half on the bench. Back in business now. Silvani got his opponent under the ball. The crowd want a free kick. There's no whistle. Hickmott tackled high, will take the free kick. So the crowd doubly unhappy there. Thought it was theirs 1 split second, and it went to the opposition. Hickmott, a long spell on the bench. Kicks from behind halfback to centre wing. McKay, no mark. Spalding took his eyes off it. Big Harry shepherding for Bradley. Some sort of a hand pass. Spalding. He's got Camporelli. Open space for Scott Camporelli. He's looking to centre. Cornered by Downsborough. And Downsborough did well then to take him off the line of the goal square and force it behind.
Once again, Carlton being let down by not having 2 options up in the forward line. A couple of weeks in a row now, Kernahan has led from full forward, but in actual fact got most of his kicks up on the half forward line. So when you get an opportunity like that, goal square empty, they do need another target up there.
Hard out of the back pocket, drives it around the outer side. Kudafidis tries for the mark, almost, recovers brilliantly. Sweeping hand pass. Murphy hard against the line, chips inside the 50. Brown deep in the pocket. Look for Kernahan. In the road was McIntosh.
Some signs there for Carlton. A couple of their quieter players are getting into the game, in particular Justin Murphy.
McIntosh to the outer side. Bradley surrounded, diving in Banfield. Ratton on his knees. Across the line it goes. Just under 14 minutes till three-quarter time. The breeze has fallen away slightly. Watch it again as Brown tries to get it across. This is from behind the goals. And sliding in front, McIntosh. There you go. Meantime, on the outer side, Schofield hurriedly onto the boot. Mitchell White close to the line. Stays in. Kudafidi striding around there, just forward at the wing. Off his step, back towards half forward. Well played by Metropolis. Angled it. That's Boyle towards the boundary, and that will do.
Well, just as well Brown and Kudafides turned up. Brown with 20, Kuda with 19. David Parkin looking worried. If Carlton lose today, they could go out if Hawthorn win and Geelong win. It's be a ball up just outside the 50. Carlton having a much better crack at it in this third quarter, but not converting much. They've scored the only goal of the term. The Eagles restricted to just a point in the opening 10 minutes. Turnbull wins here this time, but the ball back out of play. Got a bit of a touch to it. McKenna, excellent day. Injured, looked very crook. Came back just as good as ever. Here's Cousins in the middle of the ground. Long kick to full forward. Sumic one out to Silvani. Silvani mops up. Good hand pass. Manton on the bounce. Ratton. Manton's kick needed to carry on the full. The Eagles now have it. Cousins. Banfield spinning through. Now the Blues. Kutafides another touch. Bradley. Weight of numbers, and they are coming back, but not threatening the goals yet. Brown to half forward. McKay, a good mark.
Was clever. Plays on immediately. Wider. This is Bradley. Close to the boundary line. His centering kick. Kernahan was up. Didn't complete the mark. Hickmott, an Eagle, is down. Feeds it back to Murphy. Murphy snaps. It's bending back. It's very close. It looks pretty good. It's a goal. Big goal to Murphy.
25 points the margin, and the climb isn't quite looking like Mount Everest now. Blues have it out of the middle. Diulio's hand pass out in front for Camporelli. Big defensive circle. Kicked by Camporelli to Kernahan on the 50. Spalding gets to the back. Well done, Downsborough. Has he found the line? Bradley giving chase. Good punch out by Downsborough. Chris Mainwaring off the ground. So still the Eagles have managed just 1 point in this third term. Carlton have kicked 2 goals. 25 points the margin. Bradley swamped. And umpire Greg Scroop comes in and will ball it up. Now this is the clash with Mainwaring. Appeared to damage his hip here when he collided with Kernahan, and the injury forced him off.
Looks like a cork. Kutafides was up. Bradley couldn't control it. Banfield missed it. Kutafides slides in, having a good turn. Hand pass was charged down. Look at Evans work at the base of that pack. And a bounce. Terrific. Initially from Kutafides, and then from Evans. It's hit his wrist, I think. Bounce on the wing. 7-7, 11-8. As I said, the breeze has fallen away. Slight now down the ground. Carlton kicking with it. May freshen again as the clouds move away. There goes Ratton, floats it out of bounds. Hopefully, from Carlton's point of view, it doesn't do that. Evans still smarting. Meantime, McKenna, he's at right half back. 74 plays 49. McKenna towards the wing. Christou is up from behind. Waterman running out of space. Tim Jeff.
Good handling.
Yes. Better than when he played. Boundary throw in.
Just as well he didn't have to run for it.
Well, that was the trick, wasn't it? Came directly to it. But enough of that. Throw it on the wing. It's been insulted enough. Down behind, Matera. Kutafides again breaks away. Well done. Around the corner, Hannah. Kind bounce, off his step, floats it down towards half forward. Downsborough had to stretch, takes the mark, plays on immediately. Back towards the wing. In from the side, Kutafides. Shades of round 5 all of a sudden. Gets it across to Ulio with runners alongside. Kicks towards the 50. Kernahan missed it. No free kick. Hart gets back. Matera peels off. Metropolis has got it. Matera wants it long. It was coming from a long way out, but the kick is wide of the mark. Matera tracks it towards the boundary. Gave it the surge. Wry smile from Camporelli, who was chasing. No smile from Matera as we go down to Dwayne Lamb.
Maney just took a heavy knock to the thigh, so it's only a cork. Should be fine to come back on.
Boundary throw in. Matera wasn't looking absolutely fit there, so Mainwaring off. Matera maybe not at his best. Now McKenna. Hasn't he been great today? Midway through the third quarter. Skips around the opposition. Pinpoints Mitchell White. Right half-back flank. Kick by White to centre wing. Donnelly with a kick didn't reach him. Spalding takes the mark. A West Australian from way back coming back home today. Skirts around Donnelly. Looks for Kernahan. Clears the pack. Chance for McKay. But well done Metropolis to flip it over to White. McKay's got him. White not doing much to keep it in. He's pinned for
metre out of bounds, wasn't he? I'd like to see that again. I'm sure we will.
And here's the isolated view. So Andrew McKay, can he capitalise? Across the face of goal and through for a behind. Gee, they're doing most of the scoring now.
I suppose in fairness to the central umpire, he waits for the whistle. He plays to the whistle too, like the players are expected to. And the tackle to the boundary umpire's whistle. Taken a while and hence holding the ball. McKenna to the pocket. Here's Hart. Over to Hart. The Eagles being challenged at the moment. McKenna. White to the opposite pocket. Now, where will he go?
Carlton still not getting enough value for the football that they've had, and they've got Kuda dominating in the middle, but still once they get up in that forward line, Kernahan appears to be the only option, and maybe Kuda is about the only guy on this ground that can keep them 4 goals in a quarter.
Kemp did very well. Metropolis, the hand pass, not that flash. Schofield close to the line. Kemp, who knocked it down initially, needs a Shepherd. Got it to, well done by Metropolis. Kemp about 80 metres out to Sumich. That was superb football. Kemp's touch, the first of them, really set it up.
Brent Heaver off for Peter Dean. Steve Silvani has been very good on Sumich. He's been one of Carlton's best today. We tend to neglect the full-backs, but he tried to second-guess Kemp here, and he guessed wrong. Thought he was going the long option.
Sumich's first mark.
Get the feeling this is a huge kick in the context of this game. From right on the 50, it's bending back. It's working back, but not sufficiently. Right on the line, Allen the mark. Didn't have the distance or the accuracy. Christou sold into trouble. Kept it moving, though. Well played. This is Hannah, right half back towards the wing. McKay on the lead. Takes it nicely. Just 4 goals the difference now. McKay down towards half full and well, sort of. A roundabout way to get there. Wire about the 5th row.
Has he been putting in the hard hours up in Brisbane, Andy McKay? What a shocking kick.
Well, it's a tough thing to do, isn't it? What he's done this year. He's done it pretty well. I think George made the point last week. A bit rusty.
Yes, he certainly applied the oil last week, but it's pretty difficult to compete against fellows who are training at the elite level when you're training by yourself.
Kemp gave it to Matera, who miscues completely. Allen gets back.
The Eagles still goalless in this 3rd quarter. 74-50. Allen's kick poked it up in the air. Downsborough's had a good 3rd quarter, knocks it away from Spalding. Ian Downsborough, coming from West Perth, 24-year-old, playing in his first final. Turnbull front position, works it to the back. Ratton helps out Hannah at half back for the Blues. Another high kick with not much penetration. McKay goes to punch and interfered with Hart. He was front position. Free kick to Hart. Across the ground of White in 20 metres of space. Kernahan chases from full forward. Kick by White. Taken to the line by Manton.
I think I just saw a player hit a runner. Boundary throw in.
Player hit a runner.
Player hit a runner who's coming off holding his jaw. That's another story. Throw it in. Turnbull. Clean possession, will almost. Dragged off it to Ulio. Straight to Kemp. Bad luck. He lines up, kicks a goal. That hurts the Blues.
Took the Eagles nearly 20 minutes to get their first goal of the term. 80 plays 50. Across the ground, McKay giving chase. Matera definitely below his best, Peter Matera. Goes to ground, he's hobbling, not good at all. It comes back to him almost by mistake, and look at how Peter Matera's moving here.
Matera last week, of course, against Sydney, left the field early.
Same spot.
Here's the kick to centre half forward. Edging out was McKenna. Gets away with it, the mark. On to Banfield. Wide to White. Kick by White to centre wing. Schofield might have been tripped up accidentally by Diulio. Comes to Manton. Now Diulio threads the ball through, but he didn't thread it through. Chopped off by Kemp. Round the corner by Kemp. A clever kick into space. And the ball is out of bounds on the 50. And he draws loud applause from the Eagles fans. Dean Kemp, a great player in finals.
15 possessions for Kemp. All of them quality. Throw in on the 50. Allen and Gehrig wrestle. Ratton had it knocked away. Cousins nicely done. Kept it going goalward. Lovell down towards full forward. Sumich got a hand to it. Leads back in the race. Silvani stayed on his feet. That's the difference. Silvani can't pick it up. Eventually comes away. Aided by a good shepherd. Christou the shepherder. Now a relayed free kick. I think on what happened to Christou, not to what happened to Silvani. No one was near him. Sumich. Silvani, so hard to move off the ball, stays on his feet so well. McKay, forward of half back, goes towards half forward. Murphy's in front, worked under it, loose ball behind. Banfield gets back, still Banfield, still Banfield. Well, it came across to McIntosh. McKenna, Waterman surrounded, high kick towards the wing. McKay over the top, well done. Spalding, hurried kick. Kernahan gets back. Koutoufides in behind. Koutoufides has taken the mark. He's only about 25 metres out, but it's a sharp angle. His side are down by 30 points.
It does appear as if Koutoufides has got his third opponent for the afternoon. And Chad Morris and Justin Murphy coming off the ground to be replaced by Matt Clapper.
Very important kick, this one. Margin of 5 goals. Koutoufides, classy kick. He's got it.
Well, the Blues have given themselves a chance. 3 goals to 1 in this third term. Turnbull gets it to Kemp. No distance with that kick. Hickmott, well, it barely covered 10 metres. The mark paid.
Great shepherd by Peter Dean.
Christou, the kick to half forward for Spalding. Spoiled by Downsborough. And the ball out of play. Ian Downsborough, not a lot of touches since he's been out there, but good spoiling work on Earl Spalding. He's had a good term. 12-8 to 8 goals 8. And the Blues have given themselves a chance in this game. Brown had it a fair while. Crowd wanted holding the ball. Umpire kept the whistle away, and it's a throw-in. Not as dominant in this term, Fraser Brown, as he had been before half-time. Another view from behind the goals. Well, it was a bit of juggling. I don't know that he was in possession for a long time. Koutoufides might have been a bit quiet in the first quarter, but the second and third have been sensational. And it's going to be a Carlton free kick to Anthony Koutoufides.
He was slung after he got rid of the footy.
Free kicks are 12 to 10 in favour of the Eagles.
Let's see exactly what happened. There he goes, and that was the sling, almost an impalement into the fence.
Well, I think Guy McKenna's game has been absolutely superb. Over 20 possessions.
Good time to have a bit of a problem with the shoelace also. As we approach three-quarter time, Guy McKenna realises the Carlton are on a surge and he's just trying to settle them down.
Kemp taking it defensively, in the back pocket, gets cornered. Back to McKenna. He's never flustered. He'll get it again. Building on the stats. To Downsborough. Kick by Downsborough. Short of half forward. Hannah for Carlton. No mark. Donnelly to Lovell. He couldn't gather it. Whitehead to Hannah. Another goal here before three-quarter time would be handy for the Blues. But there's that man McKenna again, taking yet another mark.
Good use of the body there by Ian Downsborough, just to get edge Earl Spalding out of the contest. Let's have a look at it now. You just see him there, nice side shove, totally legitimate. And knowing full well that Louis McKenna was behind. 9 marks to the acting skipper today, and just a great game, mate, Gerard. Yes, it's been almost flawless. He's got rid of a couple of opponents. Justin Murphy came up with a goal, but he was 5 metres away at that stage, but a tremendous game from the squad.
Well, Brown and Kemp having a real to-do off the ball, and Kemp just sat him on his backside. And I reckon Fraser Brown probably deserved it. We'll have a throw in here in between centre wing and half forward. Dean Kemp. Now, it looks as though he couldn't knock anybody off their feet. Look at this. Whack! Down he goes. Here's Bradley at half-back. Manton, Camporelli. Minute and a half to go to three-quarter time. Kicked by Camporelli, looks good to half-forward. Spalding can't take a mark on Downsborough. Kernahan there. Ball flipped out. Hickmott. Good tackle, Matera. They've left him on even though he's well below full strength, Peter Matera. So even a half-bit Matera is better than anybody else, Jerry.
Well, he's been a great player this season. I think he's a tremendous chance for the Brownlow medal this year. But it's pretty tough playing in finals when you're carrying an injury, but he's done it pretty well this afternoon.
Dean knocks it down. Spalding pretty well. McKenna to his own advantage. Dean battles again, gains about 10 metres. Carlton trying very hard at the present time. Clappe went down after Bradley. It comes across to Spalding, knocked away by Downsborough. Picked up by Banfield, back towards the outer side. De Ulio's in front. Schofield in pursuit. De Ulio. One of two to choose from. Camporelli took it from the deflection of Bradley and then given away by De Ulio. Kemp, marvellous turn across to Evans, who kicks down towards half forward. Mountain the big leap. Lovell's kick inside the 50. How will it bounce? Silvani hasn't got the ball. Still he's going, Silvani. No free kick. Shoveled out. Socket off the ground by Lovell. It's spinning back towards the kick-off line. Christo played that code before. Side puts it through from behind.
Maybe warming up for summer if you take notice of the notifications coming out of Carlton at this stage about their soccer team.
Just 4 seconds left. Julio flips on to Hickmott, and there's the siren for three-quarter time. 25 points the margin after they trailed by 37 at half-time. Well, they did get back into it, but it's still a long way to come back.
When you consider that last 3 minutes where Carlton had total use of the football across their half-forward line, they had umpteen possessions that were just not quite spot on, and the Eagles kept applying the pressure, and finally the ball almost finished with an Eagles goal. I think that reflected the quarter. The Blues really did lift. They tried. They're back to within 25 points, but you wouldn't think it's close enough, Drew, to take out this game.
Well, not really when you've kicked 8 goals, 8 to 3 quarters.
Michael Malthouse not too happy at the present time. Certainly inroads made into their lead. He's spelling it out right now. Andrew Donnelly, the man who's taking the brunt of it. Michael Malthouse coaching in his 21st final, 3 with Footscray and the remainder through the 90s with the West Coast Eagles. They're up at three-quarter time, though. They lead 12-9 to 8-8.
Overcome our fears, and I thank you for 100.
So we get underway for the final term. Clean possession, Allen. Madden starting the last quarter on the bench. Downsborough's been good since he came on. Kick by Downsborough high to centre half forward. Punch away by Christou for Ratton. Boot the ball. Back to the centre. Hickmott out of trouble. Allen lost it. Matera still going on one leg. And Mark Turnbull. 20 metres in the clear, Chris Mainwaring. Looks as though he's gone in the last quarter. Back to start the final. Kick by Mainwaring to the goal line. Head he juggles and hits the post. And a point to the Eagles.
Interesting, the player on him didn't go to the contest, but went halfway. What you don't want to see. That was initially when he got free. There's the kick into the outer side. Allen, uncontested. Emerging big man. Now Koutafides on down the ground. Koutafides marks the defensive side of the wing. The Eagles rush back to pick up the man that Metropolis left, Clappe, so they've done pretty well there. Koutafides, a terrific game. Drives it down towards half forward from behind Morrison. Free kick is going the Eagles' way. Downsborough in front against Clappe. Downsborough from right half back. awkward kick towards half forward. Spills wide. Turnbull. Right man in the right spot. Waterman. Probing kick inside the 50. Sumic. Offhand's heady. Going at his third. Bends it back. Oh, that's a great kick.
Well, telling blow that one for the Eagles. Brett Heady is a class act up in the forward line. He's played in the middle in a grand final. He's also played across the half-back line, so a very versatile player, but he's at his best when he's one kick away from the goals. 3 goals today is a great return.
Looks a handy lead now, 32 points. Comes to Brown. No distance. Back in the chop up for another baller. Well, this is only the 5th final ever played in Perth. The 4 previous finals, the winner each time went on to win the flag. And aren't the crowd loving it? Cousins the hand pass. Camporelli, intercept by Peter Matera. He's at Croc. He should be in hospital, but he kicks a goal. If he's only a quarter fit, he's better than anybody else.
Yeah, particularly when you get the handball on the chest from your direct opponent. Here you see Camporelli looking to get the ball out to Brett Ratton, but it's been their problem all afternoon, Carlton. Their skills just have been a touch sloppy, and they've paid the price. You give the ball to Peter Matera within striking distance of the goal, he generally makes you pay.
Margin 38 points. Allen knocks it down. Hickmott over the top. White had to wait, and he's got a problem. Banfield so good early. Kicks it down towards half-foot. Cousins charges at it. One decoy. Evans, Kemp, Evans. The confidence surging now. Vacant goal square. Lovell gets in behind. Missed the mark. Across the line goes to Ulio. But how about that? Slick hands through the middle. Almost a sleight of hand.
It was a classic example of how the Eagles have played their forward line today, in that Sumic will lead out. The kick will generally go to the players that are leading towards a goal. On that occasion, they just couldn't quite spot Andy Lovell, but it was a great reflection of the way their forward structures operate.
Brista, massive kick towards the outer side. Spectacular mark by Koutafidis. I mentioned earlier, 18 against the Eagles in round 5, the most by a Carlton player in an individual game this season. Mark is held out there by Spalding. Spalding from the wing down towards the 50. Kernahan's in front, knocked away by McIntosh, and that will do the Eagles out of bounds.
Look at Kuta from behind. But where do you play him? For the opposition, who do you play on him? Allen. It's tight in there. The Eagles desperate to defend their lead now. Still a long time to go, but 39 points the margin. And Carlton have managed just 8 goals for the game. Differently this year, the Eagles have built their game around scoring and offense. Backhander by Kemp to get the ball out of play. Just a little back hook. They'll have an interesting weekend to see the results of tonight's game in Sydney and tomorrow's game at the MCG. Carlton will have a nervous wait. And who will the Eagles get as an opponent? Well, the crowd just celebrating now. I think the pressure's gone off the game and they're just thinking, well, here we go.
Blues bench. Not much cheer there. Well, the Bears did Carlton a favour last night, as it turns out. Take some of the heat out of it. Improve their chances by 50% of going on. Clappe hit the deck. Koutafidis battling against the odds. Ratton, ambitious, got back. Brown, who's drifted out of the game in the last 15 minutes or so. Across the face, McIntosh. That's a good result again. Behind. Brown. Plenty to say. McIntosh to bring it in. Enthralling duel that, of course, from McIntosh's perspective. As with any defender, all you need is a draw. Kernahan's got to mark the football.
And a bit of thunder around Dennis, so stand by for a shower.
Kick to the outer side. Kurtafidis reaches over the top. I wouldn't kick it there. Kurtafidis 60 metres out then. Goes in short. Kernahan on the lead. McIntosh has the speed to get there, though. That closing speed. Kernahan initially 3 or 4 paces in front, as you'd expect on the lead. But then, if it's a slow kick, that wasn't too quick. McIntosh suddenly gets there over the last 3 or 4 paces. In fact, he was there early. Hooked the arm for good measure. Brown confronted. Downsborough heads for the line. Kurtafidis playing his heart out. Kurtafidis pulls it back towards half forward. Tailor-made for Matera. Big leap from behind. Kemp has been terrific. Dragged off at that time. Whitehead. Haven't seen a lot of him. Camporelli, 20 goals on the season. His best 7 against Fremantle. And that doesn't add to his tally. That's a wayward kick, just sneaking in for a behind.
I think whilst Adrian Whitehead hasn't had that many possessions, he's done a very good job in just curtailing the influence of Ben Cousins, who started the game with 3 goals in the first quarter, but since then has been just in and out.
Carlton have kicked 8 goals, 10, and Camporelli has kicked 4 behinds. The main offender. The way Kurtafidis is getting the ball about 70 metres out, what the Blues need is for him to kick it 40 metres and run up the ground and mark his own ball. Nobody's getting it near the goal line. Here's Bradley near centre wing. Matera delays it magnificently for Evans. Evans, perfect pass, Waterman. Kick by Waterman. He's gone for the torp for a bit of distance. It's going. Silvani gets back there to rush it behind, and he had to because Cousins was right on his heels. Great kick by Waterman. But the play near the centre of the ground, once again, Peter Matera, he can hardly run. He waits and putting it right in the path of the runner going past. That's great to watch.
Presto out of the back pocket. High one towards the wing. Allen appeared to be held. That's the way the umpire saw it. Advantage is paid. Brown, Camporelli, Bradley cruising past. Fumbles initially, but all the time in the world now. Spears the ball down towards Kernahan. Again, McIntosh got to him. Clappe over the top, though. McKay into an open goal. That's better.
Well, they finished coming up with a goal, Carlton, but once again we saw another example of how one-dimensional they have been towards Kernahan, and every time they've gone there, McIntosh always gets his hand in there. He's just got too much speed for Steve Kernahan, and it's been quite outstanding all afternoon, their lack of another option. They do end up with a goal on this occasion.
Got to say both fullbacks have been terrific this afternoon, haven't they? Silvani and McIntosh.
It's the sort of position nobody would play by preference, but it plays such an important role in the side. Replacement footy came on. Somebody sampled a ball there. Flipped up to Kemp. Lovell. Hickmott got a kick. Brown. Crunch to the ground. Allen to Hickmott. Blues forward again. Here's McKenna. He's the best for mine. Dives at this and marks low down. 10 marks for the day and about to be 25 disposals. Banfield. Kick by Banfield to centre wing. Cousins. The boy wonder. Marks just behind the wing. Kick by Cousins to centre half forward. Gehrig. Christou the spoil. Evans dangerous. Heady dangerous. It sits for Brett Heady. Got any amount of support. Waterman should have kicked the goal. Got it behind.
Well, a number of options there for Chris Waterman, but he elected to go for the goal, only off one step.
Michael Malthouse looks on as Silvani kicks in, but the ball will come back. So the fullback of the century Pretty tough tag to carry around. I would imagine it makes you like the fastest gun in the West. All these full forwards queuing up to have a crack at you.
Well, he's carried it pretty well this afternoon.
Yes, he's outdrawn Peter Subic. There's the kick in. Evans. Just a mark. He's right on the 50. He's kicked 2 goals, both in the first half. 15th possession doesn't do him justice. Always boring in, particularly early in the game. Goes to Turnbull, who can kick it a mile. That's the thinking there, I think. And Turnbull unloads. Misses, but it goes through at about 3/4 goalpost height.
It's interested after half-time the reason that Carlton elected to put Hannah back to the half-back line and put Mackay up in the full forward line, because of the two you would suspect that Mil Hannah's the one with the opportunity to kick 3 or 4 goals in a quarter.
Kick by Silvani, a punch from behind. The Waterman now heady, everything going right for the Eagles. Back outside 50 to Kemp. Running onto this lock.
He spent the best part of the first half on the bench, so he's got pretty fresh legs, and he knows that there's a premiership in the offing, perhaps. And he'll be doing all in his power to impress the selection panel here.
8 seasons at Melbourne. First year this year with the Eagles, but that one doesn't get a goal across the face for a behind. Played 121 games in the 8 years with Melbourne. Andy Lovell, former Tasmanian.
Camera behind the goal there. And Christie this time as Murphy comes back onto the ground. Christie with just under 12 minutes to go. 14, 15, 9, 10. The game now being played in 1/2. Out of bounds on the full. Look at the kick out there. Mainwaring or Turnbull? I think Mainwaring, which is not the best result as far as the Eagles are concerned. Although he goes short and finds Waterman. Waterman to White. Mitchell White, the leading goal scorer for the Eagles this season, to Matera. Not much gain. Angle is better.
But his output's hardly dropped since he was hurt again.
No.
And you'd reckon he's a big chance to kick this one from about 60 metres.
Yeah, Breeze almost directly at his back. That's the advantage here. He tugs it left. What happens when you go for that extra 10 metres? Behind. 14-16 to 9-10. So target practice at the present time.
Short kick in. Whitehead. Hannah. Just hoist that very high. You wouldn't like to be under that, would you, Murphy? Well, the sting's gone out of the game. Earlier on, he's been cleaned right up.
In fairness to Carlton, that breeze has freshened again too. If we look at the windsock, it's really howling down the ground now.
Clappe against his old side. Bradley taps on. Chance for Camporelli. Kick 4 behinds. Out to McKay, who kicked the last goal. Now he's got 2.
Allen knocks it down. Going down pretty hard in the middle there is number 43, Anthony Koutoufides. Meantime, the ball is loose on the forward line. Gehrig into an open goal. It bounces through. Koutoufides can't believe it back in the middle. Doesn't quite know what happened, but gee, he hit hard. Meantime, Gehrig gets the 15th. So, bearing in mind the West Coast Eagles bid at 5 of the first 6 goals in this game. It's back to 6 goals the difference now. So from then on, really, Carlton have just maintained. But of course, it's not good enough. While this was happening, Koutoufides was just shaking out the cobwebs.
And saying to the ump, what constitutes high?
Exactly.
Midway through the last quarter, 6 goals the margin. Turnbull for the Eagles. Kemp keeps it going. Whitehead slips the tackle of Cousins, but Cousins put on enough pressure to turn it over. Lovell, he's turned it over to Bradley. Kick to half forward. Clappe knocked away by Metropolis. Clappe keeps it in. Ratton to Murphy, who's had a fumbling sort of a day. Met by Kemp.
Kemp's hurt.
He is hurt, but he's a man of granite, isn't he? We'll have a ball up. Koutafidis looks as though he's recovered, got very high. Clappe taps out. Murphy another fumble. Metropolis got it going forward. Heady's there. Umpire said, sort it out, boys. Oh, Dean's hand passed backwards. It goes to Cousins. It'll come back to him. Now he's putting the pressure on. Diulio, you're not out of it yet, Ronnie. Hickmott, Cousins the tackler. And forced the turnover to Schofield. Great play by Cousins. Gehrig on the left foot. One out is Sumic. Silvani gets back, turns him inside out, and plays it like a champ.
Camporelli out of the back pocket, hugs the boundary line with a kick, runs away from Hannah and goes across the line. Well, Cousins in that last passage, as Drew said, simply superb. Going that quickly, stumbled initially. After that, it was all courage. Tossed in, turn ball. Towards half forward. Kemp hit the deck, feeds it back. Banfield from 55, slung hard, puts it up towards full forward though. Wide of the mark, another behind. 15-17 to 10-10. So the West Coast Eagles, it would seem, are home. Silvani to kick it in. 37 points, as it was at half-time. Hickmott, deep in the back pocket. Not much run ahead of him. Kicks it very high. Mitchell White got hands to it, missed the mark. Banfield, good game. Metropolis, steady, uses it well. Kemp, spectacular at times. 55 out, spears at Goldwood. Oh, how's that for finish? Clinical.
Three points the margin now. Allen in the middle. Koutafidis another touch. Hickmott lost it. Morrison out of the middle. Dean won't look back on this day as one of his greatest. Gives away the free kick. No whistle. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. What a comeback by the Eagles. They lost 4 in a row from rounds 2 to 5 and were 14th on the ladder at that stage. And they won their next 11 straight to get right back into it. Sure, they had the home ground advantage, but they earned it by finishing 4th ahead of Carlton by percentage only. And they're moving forward again. Chopped off by Whitehead. Cross half back he goes. Here's Matera. Can't run, but he'll get there first. Lovell. And Lovell's kick. Eagles might have wished Matera did get there first. He's out of bounds on the full.
16-17, 10-10. Just over 7 minutes till full time. Whitehead. Back to Lovell. Matera takes a break. The card is back on. Waterman drifting into space. Down towards left half forward. Schofield. Kemp is on. Schofield spots him, ignores it. Sumic offers a lead. He goes in that direction. White moves in behind him from the side. Silvani got a hand to it. Brilliant pickup by Banfield. Across the line by Bradley. How will they call it? Don't tell me. We've got another intruder on the ground. Well, there's Banfield again. And watch Bradley get across in the nick of time. I suppose on the strength of today, WA has got more idiots per capita than anywhere else in the world. Holding up the game. Meantime, back in the pocket.
Well, that's 5 in 2 weeks over here, which is just ridiculous.
We're just a bit behind, Drew. This was a fad, what, 10 years ago?
Oh, I would have thought 20.
20, you're right. Meanwhile, back in the pocket, away we go. Well, almost.
It's going to take a huge performance by Carlton to resurrect their season, given that they get an opportunity next week. On the other hand, the Eagles will, I'm sure, be touted as equal premiership favourites after an outstanding match here.
Thrown in, Gehrig in front, White spills wide, Lovell. Julio's got him, held to him, says the umpire. Easiest way to deal with all the variables in this top 8 is just remember the bottom 2 losers go out. Present time, that's Essendon and Carlton, but still 2 days to go. More particularly 2 games to go. Close to the boundary line, Mainwaring gave it away. This is Brown.
Kick by Brown to centre wing, and one-hander by Cooter. He can do it all. The pass to Ratton at full stretch, he takes the mark. Christo almost ran into the umpire. Murphy's had a poor day, and once again he misses McKay. Should have been an easy setup. Metropolis goes to Hart. Hart might come back to Metropolis. No, he goes longer than that. The centre wing, Gehrig. Playing for the Eagles, recruited from Wodonga. To Schofield. Inside the 50. Gather by Heady. Lovell or Cousins. Cousins has it. On the turn, disappointing effort. Very high ball.
Great game, Silvani.
Stood as tall as the goalpost to take that mark. And now Christou. 5 1/4 minutes to go at Subiaco Oval. The kick by Ange Christou to centre wing. Banfield charges straight at it. Kemp. There should be more goals to come from the Eagles yet. Dean Kemp holds it up at left half forward. Peter Sumich has been on all day. He's had a disappointing day. He's taken just 1 mark. This is a high ball. And socket out of bounds by DiIulio for a throw-in.
Margin 43 points. All about judgment, this one. Bodies going in all directions. Silvani. His eye on the ball. Sumich knocks it down. This is Christou. Whitehead across the goal face. Short to the pocket. Hickmont's got it. Hard against the line. Bradley on for the short one. It goes in that direction to Christou. Forced to go on his right side. Gets back on his left. The short one. Spalding has to go down on his knees. Sliding. Takes the mark. 16-17, 10-10. Spalding down towards half forward. Tailor-made for McKenna. Almost. Morrison the crumbs. Breaks away. And the speed now really telling. Morrison inside the 50 again. Sumich. Well, long time coming. Hasn't kicked a goal, and this would be cruel for Silvani. He's got his hands on his knees on the mark. He's been working overtime down there. And now Sumich, after keeping a blank sheet all day, Silvani could see him kick a goal.
It was a very good mark in the finish by Summer. Took the front spot. It was a bit of a mongrel tumbling punt from Chad Morrison.
Found some form late in the season. Directly in front, will kick from 48. And he's got it.
Well, what is a home ground advantage worth over here at Subiaco Oval? Carlton have come across 3 times this year, beaten by Fremantle, beaten by the Eagles. They're going to be beaten again today, and the margin about 9 goals each time. Kemp into Lovell. On his own is White to mark 30 metres from goal. Mitchell White named in the All-Australian team earlier this week. 34 goals, 14 for the season. At the moment, we have a margin of 49 points. Another goal takes it into about the 9-goal range. That's what the Blues have been beaten by every visit to Perth this year. That's a goal to White. Parkin. Just be hoping for the results to go his way later this weekend and have to think about next week.
Yes, they can afford one upset, they can't afford two.
The Eagles just keep on rolling on. They're going to be very difficult to stop now. They've come into this finals after a tough game against Sydney. It was a loss, but they've regrouped and come up with a big victory here against last year's premiers.
Turnbull and Allen. Allen knocks it down. Awkward bounce from Metropolis, picked up by Mainwaring. Under pressure, tumbles it. It bounces across to Murphy. Clappe. Very high kick down towards half forward. McKenna punches it away. Metropolis again, back to McKenna. Runs through half back. Goes with the left boot. Very wide. Christou, almost the mark. Under pressure. Over the top, Camporelli gets by Hart. No, he didn't. Hart did well. Camporelli fed it back to Christou on the wing. Murphy to Shepherd belatedly. The kick comes down towards half forward. Both players down there. Kernahan and also McIntosh trying to spoil. A perfect old tackle there. And that is a sinking feeling when they've got your arm and you are trying to punch the ball.
He had it cocked for the handball.
It was a great game from Drew Banfield, though, isn't it? He was very good in the first half. And he put the clamp on Craig Bradley. He's perhaps just tailed off a little bit in this second half, but still been very influential.
Banfield then, half back towards the wing, low trajectory kick. Peter Dean comes up and takes the mark. 18-17 plays 10-10. Short one. Manton.
They booed Peter Dean then. He didn't clock the runner, did he?
I'm not sure. Manton down towards the pocket. Nice question. Behind, it's Morrison. Morrison back towards the wing. Christou. Manton close to the line. Stops. Camporelli out of space. In terrible trouble. It's out of bounds.
Last minute of the game here at Subiaco Oval. The Blues have had some triumphs over here. Remember a game just before the finals last year when they won by a point. Sensational game, but they haven't been able to repeat it this year. And the ball out of play.
It was probably the makings of Carlton last year and also established the demise of the West Coast. And perhaps the table has just been turned completely here because I don't think Carlton will be able to go on from this to win the flag, but by golly, the West Coast are looking most formidable.
Manton's high ball. Kernahan spoiled by McIntosh. Down goes Brown. McKenna laying the tackle again. McIntosh is there. McKenna's there. Oh, Bluey McKenna. He is an absolute terrier. The game's well and truly won. We've got 15 seconds to go, and look at him throwing himself around.
They're going to have to resurrect their forward line, Carlton, because with Heaver and Murphy not firing, they were about, I think it was 8 or 9 goals down on last week's score. Kernahan completely overshadowed. Didn't have anyone to kick a winning score at the other end of the ground. The Eagles had options everywhere.
The Eagles triumph at margin 55 points over Carlton. Last year's premiers humiliated really here in Perth. And the Eagles are back in town.
I think tribute must be paid to their two wingmen, Chris Mainwaring and Peter Matera, both of whom came into this game with a bit of an injury cloud, but played extremely well.
Thank you for the tease. Thank you just for helping us